Welcome back, everyone, and a very special good morning to all of you again. So the current situation in Haiti has dominated global headlines in recent weeks as Haitian gangs attack police stations, prisons, and other institutions in the capital, Port-au-Prince, effectively paralyzing the city. So joining us now via Zoom from Baltimore, Maryland, is Michael Deibert. He's a journalist and author of Haiti Will Not Perish. Michael, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah. Of course, Michael, you know that we in the Caribbean, we do have a very close relationship with our brothers and sisters in Haiti. Of course, over the past few days, we have seen the Prime Minister of Haiti, Ariel Henry. He has said, well, he's prepared to resign once the transitional team is put in place to allow that. As we look at that decision taken by Prime Minister Henry, has it impacted the tensions in Haiti? Have the tensions subsided somewhat?
I would say the most violent days were in the beginning, so right after the 29th of February, but there's still extreme unrest going on in the capital. I mean, just yesterday, the private home of the Director General of Police was looted and burned by gang members, which certainly gives an image of if the police chief can't protect his own property, how can he protect the rest of the Haitians at large?
But what is fueling these tensions this time around in Haiti?
So for several decades at this point, I mean, various political and economic actors have allied with these illegal armed groups to kind of pursue their various vendettas and various objectives. And it got to the point in recent years, the last 3 or 4 years, particularly since the assassination of Jovenel Moïse, the president, in July 2001, to where the gangs basically became a lot more autonomous and more powerful than the official state security forces. What's going on right now, I think, is the gangs are trying to position themselves for control in advance of any potential international peacekeeping mission that may come in, which is still somewhat in doubt, I would say.
Yeah. When you say position themselves, but it's also political positions that they have expressed their intentions to take up.
Yeah, and I think they're definitely trying to insert themselves as kind of actors in this whole political struggle that's going on in the country. And I would say one thing that was, at least to most of the Haitians I speak to, that was really disappointing is this 7-member transitional council that was named. I mean, they've named 6 of the members now. One is we're still waiting on, but it's very much dominated by kind of the traditional political forces that helped bring the country over this cliff in the first place. So there doesn't seem like there's a lot of a renewal going on with this transitional council.
Yeah. So then, is it safe to say then that the people of Haiti would have liked a more neutral approach, if I can say that, this transitional team?
Yeah, I think that's something that's disturbing to a lot of people is, for example, the representatives of the civil society, they're in an observer capacity, not as a voting capacity. So the decisions are basically still in the hands of this traditional and very discredited political class.
Yeah. So moving away from that team for a little while, but what is the consensus? What is the feeling among the Haitian people as to what is happening in their country?
I mean, I would only say this is based on my discussions. Obviously, I would never want to speak on behalf of the Haitian people. But yes. I mean, I hear there's, a total breakdown of the pillars of the state, especially, in the last couple of days, last couple of years. But this total collapse of the state functioning in the way and providing the services that the state usually does. And, I would say over the last week and a half, the only kind of pillar of governance that has remained anywhere intact was in some areas the police behaved very bravely in their fight against the gangs. They maintained the national airport that the gangs were trying to take over. They defended the National Palace downtown. So but this seems like more like the individual initiative and courage of specific officers and commanders rather than the state as an entity deciding on a particular program or plan of attack.
Yeah. But do you feel at this time that law enforcement is able to deal with the situation? And let me put another point on the table. And how do they feel from the people that you have spoken to in Haiti? How do they feel about the international help that they have been getting?
At the moment, I think the Haitian official security forces are vastly outgunned in the capital by the gangs and outmanned as well. I mean, some of them, we're talking about, I think, somewhere between 13 and 14,000 gang members under arms in Port-au-Prince and the suburbs, and that's not an inconsiderable number. In terms of the international peacekeeping force, proposed Kenyan-led peacekeeping force, I mean, I think some people feel that, doing something might be better than doing nothing, but I think they're also questioning what exactly the modus operandi of this force will be, how they will function, how they will impact the security situation. There's already been a very kind of big pushback against the presence of the force by a guy called Guy Philippe, who's a former rebel leader and former convicted narco who spent time in the States for drug trafficking, and one of his allies, a guy called Moïse Jean-Charles, who's a former senator. So you definitely already have, I would say, some acrimony building up around that force before it's even gotten in the country.
Yeah. So is it then, and we can only judge from what we have been seeing on the media internationally, is it that most of the tensions are taking place in Port-au-Prince, or has the unease spread to other parts of the country? And if so, what parts specifically?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, Port-au-Prince, and as you go north out of Port-au-Prince along the road that goes along the Caribbean that will eventually take you to the cities of Gonaïves and Cap-Haïtien, that whole area, the Artibonite Valley, which is one of Haiti's big agricultural hubs, that has also been overrun by various gangs and extreme violence. It's not getting as much attention as what's going on in Port-au-Prince because it's physically hard to get there, and you have to pass through these cordons of different armed groups. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely, you can't now essentially drive north, south, or east out of the capital with any degree of safety. And one of the gangs, the Cinq Secondes gang of a guy called Izo in a neighborhood called Village de Dieu, they control the sea basically in Port-au-Prince Bay. So you can't really easily move by water either. So the residents of the capital are really kind of trapped.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the airport. Has the airport been reopened? And what about aid? Has aid been getting to the people in Haiti who need it most?
The airport has not reopened as yet. It's being guarded by contingents of police and army. They had said yesterday that they were hoping to reopen it in the near future, but as I think that's still on the table as to when exactly that's going to be. In terms of aid, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I know various businesses and things like that have been looted in recent days all around Port-au-Prince, so it doesn't strike me as probably the ideal atmosphere in which to be delivering aid around the capital, at least.
Yeah. Do you get the impression, Michael, because I am getting a different impression too, that what is happening in Haiti, yes, the light is on Haiti at this time, but do you think that we truly understand as to how serious the situation is in Haiti, and how many people are being affected, and the communities that are being affected and so on? Do you get the impression that we know exactly what is happening?
I mean, I would say so I've been working in Haiti since 1997, and what's going on today seems more extreme than anything I've ever seen in terms of political unrest and political violence. I mean, you have, this incredible stress and tension for average people just to get from one day to the next, to get water, to get food. You have very little, if any, presence of the official state authorities, and you have these, traditional political elites still kind of squabbling over how they're going to share this ever diminishing cake while the people suffer. And it's very upsetting. And I think, what the international community could do in addition, I think one mistake would be to just approach it as a security situation, because the gang problem is a symptom of a larger malaise in Haiti, which is this pervasive impunity that people with political or economic ties enjoy. They can kind of get away with doing anything, and have for many years. And I think the international community, maybe we need to, or maybe the good actors in Haiti need to be assisted in setting up a permanent body that can examine the links of these armed groups to the political and economic figures in Haiti, and through that try to kind of, rein in that phenomenon.
Yeah. Michael, is there anything that you think that we in the Caribbean can do more to address what is happening in Haiti and do so in an attempt to prevent future uprisings and tensions in the future? Is there anything more that we can do? Of course, we had a meeting a few days ago, and leaders in CARICOM would have had talks with the Prime Minister, Henry, and we see what has happened. He has decided to resign. What more can we do in this part of the world?
I think one thing that would be great is a very strong engagement with kind of the civil society actors in Haiti. So maybe the actors outside of the traditional political class who often seem to be determining the future of the country, because there's absolutely no shortage of great, motivated, thoughtful people all around Haiti who are working under great odds to try and move the country forward. The problem is they're just often shut out of the political process. So I think maybe encouraging interaction and exchanges with them and the wider Caribbean would be really productive.
Yeah. Have you been keeping an eye also on the movement of people from Haiti into the Dominican Republic? I see that people are crossing the border trying to get into the Dominican Republic now.
Well, what I've seen over the last couple of days has been a little of the reverse. It's been Dominicans kicking Haitians out, according to across the border. I mean, Haiti and the Dominican Republic, they have this very complicated relationship because the economy in the DR, whether it's tourism or construction or agriculture, is very dependent on Haitian immigrant labor. Yet at the same time, there's this fear in the Dominican Republic that they're going to be kind of overtaken by Haiti or whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's a very unfortunate situation, because I completely understand if you were living in Haiti why you would go to the Dominican Republic to seek a better life, given the situation that's in Haiti. But it becomes this political football in the DR, where a lot of politicians use it for kind of nationalistic ends, I would say.
Yeah. So I know, Michael, that you have done a lot of work in Haiti, and also you have your book, Haiti Will Not Perish. What would have inspired you to write this book, Haiti Will Not Perish?
So Haiti Will Not Perish, it was actually the second book I wrote about Haiti. The first one was Notes from the Last Testament. It was the name. And I find Haiti, I mean, it's an extremely difficult and complicated country to decode. And there's often, what the depictions that I see often, especially abroad of it, I find are very simplistic. And so I wanted to do my best. Those two books basically cover the years from 1994 to 2017. And I wanted to decode as much as I could kind of, the political history and social history of the country during those times, working there as a journalist. I lived there for several years. Did my best to do so, because I think really, despite its small geographic size, Haiti is definitely one of the most, if not the most, complex country in terms of, understanding all of the different strands of pressure and history and things like that I've covered.
Yeah. But is it not, I think Haiti Will Not Perish, it's to me an optimistic, and this is just my view, an optimistic view as to how you see things in Haiti.
It's a kind of famous Creole saying, Haiti pas péri, Haiti will not perish. And after the earthquake in 2010, it was said during a press conference by René Préval, who was the president at the time. So he was basically standing around, the ruins of Port-au-Prince, but said Haiti will not perish, which was this kind of, never give up, never say die kind of attitude. And I still see that in different parts of the country. I mean, I was in Haiti about 3 weeks ago in the north, in Cap-Haïtien and around there. And despite it not being, free of the tensions elsewhere in the country, life is still continuing more or less normally, I would say, there. And so, there are elements of the country that are still continuing on, but they're being a bit strangled by what people often call the Republic of Port-au-Prince, which is, where all of the kind of money and problems and all of this chaos is concentrated, and it distracts away from the rest of the country sometimes, I think.
Yeah. So, Michael, how do we, and I'm putting a lot of weight on your shoulders here this morning, Michael, but how do we, let's say, as the region, as the world, we put back Haiti on an even keel and in a permanent way, so that tensions such as these don't come up every few years, and you see Haiti descend into a situation as it is now, which can only be described as chaos. How do we put Haiti on an even keel for once and for good?
I mean, I think one thing that needs to be done is there needs to be greater and more aggressive interdiction of firearms coming into Haiti, because there's a lot coming from the United States, for example, from gun stores in Miami. A couple days ago, one of the big gangs in Haiti, the CCN, they released a video of themselves with the Belgian-made rifles, automatic rifles, which are not used by the police in Haiti. They used to be used by the FARC in Colombia. So I don't know if they're getting them through, deals with the FARC, dissident groups down there or whatnot. But certainly, I mean, there's this river of iron that's flowing into Haiti that's keeping these gangs awash in weapons and ammunition. That, I would say, really needs to stop. And also just, it's been encouraging in some ways to see, Haiti is the most populous member of CARICOM, was the first independent country in the Caribbean region. And it'd be great to see, I guess, an increased integration and an increased cooperation between Haiti and the CARICOM countries, because they have, so much to learn from one another, of course.
Yeah. But, Michael, 3 gang leaders, and they have been really given much exposure. One of them is Barbecue. And they have been given such great exposure, and they have been speaking with such authority, and they have been telling the government in Haiti what they want, and they have been really telling the world what they want. Do you think that they have such great power and authority to be speaking in this way? I
mean, they certainly have a dominance of force of arms in many parts of the capital right now. I mean, one thing I think that is often misinterpreted abroad, Barbecue is not even remotely the most powerful of the gang leaders. He's just the one that's most kind of, I would say, media savvy. He's very available to the press, and he's definitely the one that's rhetorically, at least, trying to center these gangs into some sort of political equation. Yeah. The problem is, though, even though these gangs have sort of this modus vivendi now, where they say they have this coalition, they've had those in the past, and they tend to break apart fairly quickly, and the gangs begin fighting among themselves once again, which they do very viciously. So I think the idea that they will remain this united front for a long, long time, I don't see a lot of evidence for that in their past behavior.
Yeah, but you think that they are getting the support from the majority of Haitians?
Are the gangs getting?
Yeah.
No. I would say rather the ironic thing is these gangs are trying in some ways to portray themselves as liberators, yet they're one of the main causes for the misery in which the people are living in right now. And also they're, I have lots of reports from people on the ground of them targeting not just big warehouses and big kind of magnets, but small merchants and things like that. And they behave, they've committed really, really terrible crimes against defenseless civilians.
Yeah. So, Michael, what do you think that the people of Haiti, that they want right now, so that normalcy returns to Haiti and there is a level of peace? As you speak to people in Haiti, what's the temperature like? What do they want?
I spoke to a friend yesterday who told me we're not out of the barn yet, and the barn is burning. That was his. He said they felt like they were really in God's hands at the moment. I mean, I think people would like just the violence to stop, however that stops at the moment, because it's so disruptive of daily life, and so. It makes what's already an incredibly stressful existence of, it's not easy to make a living in Haiti from one day to the next, and this just compounds that stress and that kind of terror. I think a return to some kind of normal life would be very welcome.
Yeah, Michael, anything else you'd like to tell us before you leave us this morning?
Just that I think the people of Haiti are struggling mightily under this current wave of violence, and they deserve our support, however we can give it to them.
Yeah. Michael, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much. We do appreciate
it.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Bye for now. So we are going to a very short break, everybody. We're coming back.